Hey guys! So in preparation for the upcoming Sephora sale, I wanted to declutter my Sephora loves list. This is basically where I put any products that interest me. Anytime I am either like watching a YouTube video and I hear somebody mention something that sounds like I might want it, I'll add it to my loves list, or if I'm just browsing the site, maybe there's something that I'm considering buying in the future, I add it to that list. But periodically, I like to go through my Sephora loves list and just delete anything that I'm no longer interested in. Sometimes I'll just add something to my list, sleep on it, see how I feel about it later, and a lot of times I end up not being interested in that product after, a few weeks go by. But it's been a long time since I've actually decluttered my Sephora loves list, so we're gonna do that together today. I'm not sure if I'm going to be shopping the upcoming Sephora sale or not. There's a few things that I know I want to stock up on anyway, so I might just take advantage of the sale while it's going on. But you guys know I'm generally not a huge fan of the Sephora sales, but I thought this would be a fun video just to make sure I'm going into the sale prepared in case I do decide to shop. I mentioned recently in relation to the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale, I like to use my loves list or my, wish list as a tool to help me shop more mindfully. So whenever a sale does roll around or when I see a product on sale, if that product wasn't already on my wish list, to me, that means that I probably shouldn't buy it or I should wait to buy it because I never want to buy something just because it's on sale. So I try to only allow myself to buy things during a sale when it was already on my wish list. So that's why I want to go through and just update my loves list, make sure that everything on there is something that I still am interested in buying or interested in checking out. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you and we'll go through together. And also, I like to use these types of videos as a way to get feedback from you guys. So if you've tried any of these products that are on my wish list, I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. Do you think it's something I would like? Do you think I should skip it? So feel free to share any thoughts on any of these products in the comments below. But let's go ahead and take a look at my Sephora loves list. Okay, so here's my loves list. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll down because these are currently in order from most recently added. So I'm gonna go all the way back to the beginning to the first things that I added to this list. First, we have here the LYS Triple Fix Setting Powder. I'm definitely still interested in this. I'm actually about to run out of powder, so I do need to buy a powder soon. This might be the one I buy, but it might not. I'm not sure yet. But I definitely am still interested in trying this powder, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it on my list. I do think that my shade would be the lightest shade, the shade Translucent. Yeah, so that's the one that's going to stay on my loves list. If you've tried that powder, let me know what you think. Do you think I would like it? I have liked everything that I've tried from LYS, so I definitely have a good feeling about it. I love their foundation. Speaking of LYS, I also have their Triple Fix Concealer on this list, and I have the lightest shade here, which is Porcelain. I'm not sure if actually, I think my shade would probably be LN3. That's also the shade that I am in the foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and take that shade off because I don't think that would be my correct shade. Then I have these two perfumes from the Seven Virtues, Vanilla Woods and Patchouli Citrus. I have had little samples of both of these scents before. I know I love them both. I think the one I want most is Vanilla Woods. I think that's their most popular fragrance. It's such a good vanilla, and it lasts a really long time. So this is absolutely still on my wish list. Patchouli Citrus is too. I don't want this one quite as badly, but let's see, it does come in a smaller size, but it's a rollerball, which I don't like. So I would definitely go with the spray if I were to get this, but I'm not in a hurry to get either of these. I've actually not been wearing perfumes as much for a couple of reasons. One being that our cat Tala recently, we found out she has asthma, so I've been trying to limit just the fragrant things that I'm spraying in the apartment. So that's one reason. Another reason is I feel like I've been having a reaction to perfumes because the last couple times I applied perfume, I got like a big red mark on my neck. So I've been trying to only put perfumes on my clothes instead of on my skin lately, but I don't know, I'm afraid I might be developing a fragrance allergy, which is a little bit beside the point, but anyway, that's why I'm not in a big hurry to buy any new perfumes, but potentially in the future I would pick those up. The Tower 28 mascara, I really want to try this. I feel like I've only heard good things about this mascara. It looks like the kind of wand I would like. I love those rubber bristle brushes, and I like curved wands as well. But I'm probably not going to pick this up in this sale because I don't need any mascara right now. I have one mascara open. I have another one from Ciate London that's unopened, so I don't need to buy any other mascaras right now, but this is going to stay on my loves list for sure. So far, I have not been doing a good job with taking things off my list, but hopefully we will start to do better. Next up, I have this Fenty skin tint, the Eavesdrop skin tint. This is clearly the wrong shade. I don't know why I have that shade instead of, let's see, light. I would probably, usually I go with light neutral undertones. So I will go with the color 2 instead. But I really want to try this. I've never tried anything from Fenty, and they are definitely one of my #1 brands that I want to try right now. But I will take this incorrect shade off of here. Speaking of Fenty, I also have their Fly Liner Longwear Liquid Eyeliner. This was a Kelly Gooch recommendation. She recommended the shade in Big Truffle, which is a chocolate brown shade, and she said that this is a like true brown. It's hard to find a really good brown eyeliner because a lot of them are like more of like a black brown or just so dark they almost look black, but this one does look like a good brown. Normally I don't buy high-end liners, but this one just sounds really good, so I do still want to try that. That's another thing I'm leaving on. Okay. Also, not going to remove this Fenty bronzer either. I really want to try this too. But I'm curious to hear if you've tried this, the shade In the Sun, which is the lightest one for fair skin. How did you find the shade? Because I do tend to prefer like really light bronzers, like the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer in Fair, like really bronzers that are only like a couple shades deeper than my skin tone. This looks like it could be a little bit darker than I would prefer, but curious to hear your thoughts if you've tried this shade. The Bare Minerals Gen Nude Blonzer. I don't think I actually want this. There are other blushes that I'm interested in trying, but I don't feel like this is very high up on my list to try. So I'm just gonna take that off. I don't know, Bare Minerals for some reason just isn't really a brand that catches my interest very much. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because a long time ago I tried their Complexion Rescue and it broke me out, and now I'm afraid to try anything from them. So even though I'm sure the blush would be fine, but I don't know, I'm just not that interested, so I might as well not worry about it. All right, these two shadows from Urban Decay, these are also Kelly Gooch recommendations, as are many of the things on this list, honestly. But this is the shade Space Cowboy. I definitely still am interested in this. It looks like a gorgeous topper shade. I love glittery, sparkly toppers, so that is certainly still on my list. And Lithium, too. This is a little bit of a more like taupey brown shade. That also looks gorgeous. So yeah, those are not going anywhere. I also have these two highlighters from Rare Beauty. These highlighters are currently the makeup item that I want the most out of everything. Like, I am pretty sure if I do shop this Sephora sale, I will be buying one of these highlighters. Now, I'm not sure what shade though. I don't think Flaunt would be it. I don't know why I had this shade chosen, because that looks like it would be too dark for me. So that I'm going to take off. But I also had the shade Mesmerize, which is a pinky highlighter. And then also the shade Enlighten looks nice. Oh, that's on my loves list as well. This is like a pearly, like really light champagne shade. Mesmerize is a pink. Exhilarate is a champagne gold. That shade I would be interested in as well. I do like more golden toned highlighters. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on which shade I would want the most. I'm gonna have to look up some reviews and swatches. And I especially want to find out if any of these shades would be too dark for me. I'm pretty sure that one would be Flaunt, but possibly Exhilarate as well. I'm gonna have to double check and make sure that that shade wouldn't be too deep on me. But I'm leaning towards either Enlighten or Mesmerize, actually. The Ordinary Multi-Peptide Lash and Brow Serum, I do want to try this. I just used up my Kosas Lash and Brow Serum, the Grow Potion is what it's called, and I really liked that one, but I am definitely wanting to find a cheaper alternative because that one is like $48. And this one, as you can see, is only $14.50. So that is a great price. I've heard really good things about this one. So this is another thing that if I do place an order, I will most likely be buying this. Really, really interested to try that. Another Kelly Gooch recommendation here, the Pharmacy 10% Niacinamide Night Mask. Kelly is also, she has a similar skin type to mine if I remember correctly, and I know she also uses tretinoin, and she says that she likes to use this on the nights that she uses tretinoin. So I'm just really interested to try this out. Now, they also sell this in a mini version, which is probably what I would get first to try just to make sure I like it. Anytime I can get a mini, especially if it's a high-end product, I usually do just try the mini first, even though it's typically not as good of a value as the full size. It's a good way to try it, just make sure I like it before I commit to the full size. So that is probably the one I would get, but this is definitely still of interest to me. So then we have a couple more Fenty products. The Poutsicle Hydrating Lip Stain. So this actually only comes in 4 shades. I know this is like one of the most popular lip stains out there, and I do really like lip stains, but I do already have a red lip stain from Aether Beauty that I really like. I also have a pink one from them, so I don't need another pink or red. The only other shade of this that I think I would want to try would maybe be the shade Berry Banger. So I'll add that back on, but I am going to remove Strawberry Sangria because I just know I don't need another red lip stain right now. Then we have the Gloss Bomb. This is another one of Fenty's most popular products, so I would love to try it. And I have the shade here, Fenty Glow. That's the Shimmering Rose Nude. This shade looks really pretty. I like this kind of taupey rose, slightly shimmery type of gloss color, so that looks like a great color for me. I think Fenty Glow is probably the only shade that I would want to try, so that is also going to stay on my list. Next, I have this Tower 28 one-liner. So this just looks interesting. It's supposedly a lip liner, eyeliner, and cheek pencil all in one, which I just like the idea of a multitasking product, and it just seems like a cool concept, but at the same time, I use my lip liners as blushes sometimes anyway. These 2 shades, the Fill Me In and Work of Art, don't really look like shades I would use on my eyes anyway. Then there's Chocolate Brown, which I think is the one that I chose, or the one that I had put on my loves list, which, I don't know. I don't know if I really want this, actually. I feel like if I were to get the Chocolate Brown shade, I would only use it really on my eyes, and I already have a brown pencil liner, so I don't need that. I'm going to go ahead and take this off the list, but I'm open to reconsidering that if any of you think that it's like the best product ever. Okay, so next I have a couple of products here from Patrick Ta. This is another brand I haven't tried anything from, but I am really interested in trying some of their products. They are expensive though. I would say this is like a luxury priced brand for sure. So I'm not really dead set on any of these products, but I do know this Major Dimension 2 eyeshadow palette looks stunning. It looks right up my alley, but at the same time, I have so many palettes and I've acquired so many new palettes this year. I've gotten a lot of palettes in PR this year and I just feel a little overwhelmed by all of them, so I'm not jumping at the opportunity to buy any more palettes anytime soon, but this looks so pretty though. I love the shimmers especially, but I also know I probably have shades similar to just about all of these between my Sigma New Mod palette, my ABH Norvina, the original Norvina palette. I'm a little unsure about this. I'm not quite ready to take it off my loves list, but I'm also definitely not certain that I want that. I also have the Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder Blush. So this is $36 for, it's kind of a dual product, so, you know, not too terribly priced. This shade called She's So LA, this looks more like a bronzer and a blush in one, maybe. Do we know her? That looks a little too orangey peachy for what I like. She's That Girl. Those look really dark. Let's see. I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure if any of these shades are really calling to me. But I like the idea of a cream and a powder in one that you could, layer together. I don't know. Have any of you tried this? Is it really worth the hype? This shade also looks nice. I'm kind of curious about this. I can't remember who it was that was talking about this shade, but I know somebody recommended the shade She's So LA, and I'm into the idea of a bronzy blush. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that on for now, but I'm also not in any sort of hurry to buy either of those things. Okay, then we have some Makeup by Mario items, and then there are some more Patrick Ta things coming up. But Makeup by Mario Master Pigment Eyeliner Pencil. I don't remember who it was that mentioned this either, but I'm sure it's a nice eyeliner. It actually doesn't even have a full 4 stars. I'm just more of a drugstore eyeliner type of person. I really don't buy high-end eyeliners very often at all. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and, I think I know myself, I'm not going to buy that, so I'm just going to go ahead and take it off my loves list. Then there's the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes eyeshadow palette. This says it's out of stock. Is this discontinued forever, or has this just, oh, it does say limited edition. So I'm guessing that means that it's done, that it's no more, but maybe they're bringing it back, I'm not sure. Either way, I think I'm going to go ahead and take this off my loves list because it was one of those things that came out, everybody was super hyped about it, including me. I thought it looked really pretty, but now that I've looked at it more, I'm like, I really don't need to spend $70 on these shadows that I definitely have similar colors already. And I've also heard mixed reviews on it. Not everyone has given it glowing reviews, so I think that's an easy pass for me. Then another one I had on here from Makeup by Mario. I do want to try Makeup by Mario because it's another brand that I feel like is really popular right now. This just looks pretty, but I don't know. Again, I feel like I'm good in terms of eyeshadow palettes. I just don't really want to add any more palettes to my collection. And when I look at these colors, I mean, this orangey shade here in the middle, I know I probably wouldn't like that shade. It just looks a little too warm, like a rusty orange. Those kinds of shades I don't typically like on myself. All 4 of the others look like shades I would enjoy, but I don't want to buy a $50 palette where 1/5 of the palette I wouldn't use. So I'm going to take that off. All right, we're making some progress now. Finally, I'm removing some things. Then we have the Patrick Ta Major Sculpt Cream Contour. So this is similar to the blush, but it's just more of a contour bronzer duo. I actually like the idea of this even more than the blush because a lot of times I do like to apply both a contour and a bronzer. And this shade, this lightest shade called She's Statuesque, looks like exactly the contour shade and exactly the bronzer shade that I like to wear. I'm gonna leave both of those on my loves list, but between the two, the bronzer and contour is more appealing to me right now. Then we have the Major Dimension eyeshadow palette. This one too, looks really pretty. It looks like just the ultimate neutral palette, but this looks a lot like the Sigma Ambiance palette to me. I can't decide between the Major Dimension 2 Rose and just the Major Dimension palette. They both look pretty and they both look like just a good introduction to Patrick Ta eyeshadows, but I'm not fully sold on either one. So maybe I'll, thinking about it further, I think I should go ahead and take both of these Patrick Ta palettes off my loves list because I think I just talked myself out of both of them right there. But I will definitely keep an eye on Patrick Ta, and if they come out with any other palettes that seem more like a good addition to my collection, I'll definitely consider them, but for now, I don't think I need to buy either of those. Next, I have 2 of these Patrick Ta lipsticks. These would be a splurge for sure. I have the shade She Must Be New, which is a deep wine, and She's Hard to Get, which is a vibrant pink. Ooh, that's a really pretty color. I also kind of like the True Red, but That's Why She's Late. I'm gonna add that on too. Then we have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Looks like the full size is out of stock right now. I think if I were to buy this, I would probably only get the mini. So I took the full size off because I haven't tried this setting spray before. I know so many people swear by this setting spray, so I'm really just interested to try it out. But I would definitely want to get the mini if I were to get it at all. Ooh, this is the Glow Recipe Plum Plump Refillable Hyaluronic Acid Moisturizer. They actually sent this to me in PR. I liked it, but it didn't feel quite hydrating enough for my skin, just not quite rich enough. It's more, it's feels a little bit more like a gel moisturizer to me, but my boyfriend really likes it. So this is the moisturizer he's using right now. But now that I've tried it, I know I have other moisturizers I prefer over this one, so it's not one that I could see myself ever buying in the future. I do appreciate that it's refillable though. It's a cool option if you're looking for something like that, but I'm gonna go ahead and take that off my list. I also have this Nest mini perfume oil sampler set. I've never tried Nest fragrances, but this looks like a good just little sampler pack. So like I said, I'm really not in the market for any new fragrances right now, but in the future I might want to try that. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that on my loves list. Ooh man, I'm having trouble decluttering. Next, this is the Sunday Riley Lip Butter Balm. I think it was Too Much Tosh that really liked this lip balm. I think if I were to get this, I would probably just get the clear shade, the vanilla shade, but probably not this tinted one. So I'm going to take off the shade Vanilla Beige, and I added the clear shade on. So next I have the Rare Beauty Liquid Blush. Everyone and their mom seems to love this blush. The thing about it that I don't love is that I know you only need like a tiny bit of this, and it just seems like I would never finish a full size of this blush because it's just super pigmented, and it doesn't look like they sell a mini version of this blush, and I wish they did. If they sold a mini, I probably would pick it up. I'm just a little hesitant to pick up the full size. Maybe I should get over myself though, because it does sound really nice. I have the shade, let's see, what shade did I have on here? True Mauve. So I guess I had the shade Believe and Bliss on my loves list. Bliss is a matte nude pink, Believe is a true mauve. This shade looks beautiful too. Hope, the nude mauve. Oh, they're all so pretty. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna add Hope on my list too. There's some new shades too. Worth. That looks similar to my NYX Sweet Cheeks blush in Nude Tude, and Virtue Beige Peach. Yeah, that I'm going to leave on my loves list, but I'm not 100% certain I would want to try it. I also have the Glossier You perfume on my list. It doesn't seem like they sell a sample of this, at least on Sephora, so I definitely wouldn't buy the full size of this before trying a sample. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off because I'm not going to buy that. I would probably want to get a sample from their website or something first. Next I have the Glossier Cloud Paint. I know Glossier is new to Sephora. I've also never tried anything from Glossier. I know I'm behind the times, but looks like this is out of stock, the shade Puff here of their Cloud Paint. This is their liquid blush. I also have this bright red on my loves list, the shade Spark. It's a bright poppy red. I'm curious to know if you've tried this shade. Is it super pigmented or is it more of a sheer red? Because I know I wouldn't want it if it's like a really bright, deep red and it would be too pigmented for me. But it seems like these are pretty sheer. Yeah, I mean, they describe it as a sheer buildable gel cream, so that leads me to think that this shade would work for me. But I also have the shade Puff on my loves list, but that one is currently out of stock. But this is definitely still a wish list item. The Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand. Why do I have medium to dark on here? It should be fair medium. I really just want to try this for the hype. And I like the idea of a liquid contour. It seems like it would be really easy to work with. But I am going to take this medium to dark shade off of my list because I know that would be too dark for me. These are just some other shades of products we've already talked about. Then I have the Amika High Tide Deep Waver. This is a $120 waver. I currently have the Conair waver, and I feel like the barrels are a little bit too small. This Amika one, the one I like about it is that it has thicker barrels. And I think it's Erin's Beauty Obsession on Instagram speaks really highly of this waiver, and her hair always looks amazing when she uses this, so that's really why I have it on my loves list. But I'm also, I don't think I would ever spend $120 on a hair tool. Like, I think I just need to be honest with myself. Even if I got it on sale, it still wouldn't be, it still would be over $100 with the 10% off during the sale, so I'm just going to take that off. I'm sure there's a cheaper waiver that has bigger barrels that I would like. Let me know if you have any suggestions, but I know I'm not going to buy that, let's be real. I have these 2 more shades of the Rare Beauty blush. I also have a few shades of this Lawless Forget the Filler line smoothing lip gloss. Yeah, I can't decide which of these shades I would want. I think I'm going to go ahead and take Daisy Pink off. I think Taylor Wynn has recommended this. It does look pretty on her, but I don't really tend to like bright pinks like that on my lips. So I'm going to take that one off, but Cherry Vanilla and this Rosy Mauve shade here both look like shades I would enjoy. There's that Cloud Paint in Spark. And then a couple minis I have here, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder. $28 for a mini. I know they sometimes have this as a point perk, so I think I would rather just wait to get it as a point perk instead of paying actual money for it. So I'm going to take that off my list. I don't think I could spend $28 on a tiny mini powder. I think I'd rather get the LYS powder, honestly, if I were to get one from Sephora. Then there's this mini Lawless Forget the Filler. I wish they had minis of some of these other shades, because I'm not as interested in this Rosy Outlook shade. Maybe I am. How do they describe that? I wish they had other shades of the mini, but I mean, this shade looks like one I would like, Rosy Outlook. I'm guessing it's just a clear-ish gloss, maybe a little bit of a milky pink. But maybe that would be good to try first instead of these full-size ones, just to make sure I like the formula. So I'm going to leave that on my loves list. And then everything else we've already talked about. I think some of these just went up to the top because I added a different shade to the list. But that's everything. Dang. You know what? Let me go ahead and take this off, this Pharmacy full size, because if I were to buy this at all, I know I'd get the mini. So I'm going to take the full size off for now. If I end up liking the mini, I would add the full size back on. So that is everything that was on my loves list. I feel like I didn't remove as many products as I was hoping to, but scrolling through this list, I do feel like all of these are things that I'm interested in trying. So I hope you guys enjoyed getting to see a peek at my Sephora loves list. Let me know your thoughts on any of these products down below, or if there's anything else you think I should add to my loves list, let me know. But I definitely recommend doing this if you haven't updated your loves list in a while. It can be good to just go through and weed things out. Sometimes there's things where I'm like, what was I thinking adding this to my loves list? I know I don't want that. But thank you all so much for hanging out today. I hope you had fun. If you did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I also have a Patreon and a channel membership if you'd like to support my channel further and get access to exclusive bonus videos. But otherwise, I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, and I will talk to you again very soon in my next video. Bye.